Yeah, so tell them about the text that you got.
Well, I got a text message from one of my friends back at home in the U.S. asking me if everything was okay, and I was like, well, what do you mean? And he was like, well, something in the news happened in Nigeria, and so I was like, well, Nigeria, and I'm not in Nigeria, I'm in South Africa, a different part of Africa, and so I just thought, well, what misconceptions about Africa by Westerners.
Yeah, so we figured we'd make another video about myths about Africa. So he's gonna bring up the myths and then I'm gonna just debunk them because there's a lot of crazy ones out there. I realized.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. So
Yeah.
should I start with myth number one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, myth number one: Africa is a country.
Not true. Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent.
Yes.
So Africa is a continent which has about 54 countries in Africa. And South Africa is just one of the countries in the southern part of Africa. So we have a few southern African countries, which South Africa is one of them. But Africa is definitely not a country. It's a continent that has a lot of countries. Yeah. So like this other time I was in New York, and then I went to this event, you know about it. I went to this event, and then they obviously introduced me to the people, and then this one person came up to me, and this person is like, oh, so you're from South Africa? And I'm like, yes. And this person is like, so where in South Africa are you from? Are you from Nigeria?
Wow, that's...
I was like, is this a joke? Like, I was waiting for the cameras to come out like, oh, we're just pranking you.
Yeah.
Because seriously? Anyway, so I definitely realized, Westerners does not know a lot about Africa and South Africa, although we know so much about, the Western world and whatever. And, Nigeria is so far from South Africa. If we have to go to Nigeria now, we have to get on a 6-hour, at least a 6.5 hour flight from Cape Town.
That includes the time waiting in the airport.
Yeah, so, and also one that goes with that myth is the fact that people just assume that, oh, you're from South Africa, that person is from Ghana. Do you guys know each other?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, they're like, what, 1.2 billion Africans or people that live in the African continent. It's like, that's more than 3 times the amount of people that live in the U.S. And I mean, I'm from New York. I don't even know everybody that lives in my building when I was in New York. And,
yeah. So there's no way that I'm just gonna know if I'm in New York. There's no way that I'm just gonna know all the Ghanaian people. I've never been to Ghana. I mean, I would love to go there one day, but I've never been there. I know a lot of Ghanaians, but yeah, it's not as simple as, oh, you guys know each other. You're both African. It's like me saying, oh, Ariel, this is Carlos. He's from Mexico. Do you know each other? Like, yeah, it's like that.
I mean, we're Latino, but I'm Puerto Rican. He's Mexican, and so
anyway,
that's some myth, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how about myth number 2? Africans speak one universal language. They just speak this African dialect that every African.
Oh, that's called African.
Yeah.
We speak African.
Yeah.
We don't speak African. I would love to speak African. I don't know what African is. I mean, the language African, because I've never heard of it. But I know we in South Africa, we have about 12 official languages.
Yeah.
And there's no one in the 12 that says African.
Yeah, and think about the rest of the continent, what they speak in like Mozambique
Yeah, you go to Mozambique, they speak Portuguese. You go to Kenya or Malawi, they speak Swahili. You go to Congo, they speak French.
Yeah. You go to Equatorial Guinea.
They speak Spanish.
Yeah.
So if he goes to Guinea, which is in Africa, he will feel more at home than me
Yeah.
because they speak Spanish and I don't speak Spanish. So that's how it is.
And you know, Arabic. You go to the north. I mean, wherever you go in Africa, I mean, you're gonna find a language peculiar to that region.
So I guess the point is, I don't know that there's a language called African. There's a language called Afrikaans, but yeah. That's what I speak, Afrikaans,
So
and
Dutch,
I speak English. Yeah, that comes from Dutch kind of vibes. But yeah, no, we don't speak a universal African language.
How about when people say that? I mean, I had a friend of mine from the U.S. ask me, "Do you see elephants? Have you seen elephants where you're at, walking around the streets?"
Walking around the streets, well, we would be very privileged if that was the case. Because, you know, the first time I really got close to an elephant was when I went to Kenya. Kenya. I went to a different African country to be close to an animal. I mean, close to an elephant and a giraffe. So no, we don't have lions in our backyards. We'd be dead, people. We'd be dead if I wake up with a lion in my backyard, a lion that is hungry. No, it does not happen. Yeah, occasionally in like the farmy areas, you'll see like sheep or goats or whatever would cross the street from the one side of the farm to go to the next, you know. But it's not like, you know, I go out in the streets every day and I just see, oh, there goes a lion, or there goes a goat, or there goes a sheep. Unless you live on a farm where you farm with animals and stuff. But residential areas, that's not a thing. No, people, we'd be dead.
Look, I've seen more animals in the Bronx Zoo than I've had in this side of Africa. So, you know. So what about the idea that all native Africans are black?
No. Is it? I mean, you've been in South Africa. Or...
Definitely. I mean, yes, 80% of the population in South Africa is black, but you also have different...
We're super diverse. You get white Africans, you get black Africans, you get colored Africans, you get Africans that are Indian. A lot of them. Charlize Theron, which she lives in America now for many years. She's an actress there. She's white, she's African. Trevor Noah, he's from Johannesburg in South Africa. He's a colored, but he's African. So no, we are super diverse, different shades, like similar with you guys. Puerto Ricans, you get
dark-skinned Puerto Ricans, light-skinned Puerto Ricans.
Same thing.
Yeah, and how about the notion that Nelson Mandela was the president of Africa back in the 90s?
The president of Africa. Well, I guess you can look at it that way, but no, he was the president of South Africa. I mean, he was obviously very influential in the entire African world, whatever. But no, he was the president of South Africa, the country South Africa. The other African countries have their own presidents.
They sure have.
Yeah. Didn't you thought that he was but where'd you guys get that from? Did someone actually tell you that? Or you just assume?
Well, they didn't say, he just got elected to be president of South Africa. They said, he's an African president.
Really?
So right away.
The media is just so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't like movies like what is that going? Coming to America. Yeah, it's so stereotypical.
We have to make a sequel.
It annoys me. I don't want to watch that. I wish that movie just gets debunked. Because, you know, the media has a big influence in what Westerners think of South Africa or Africa. Yeah. I don't know why they just don't do their own research. But why would you? If the media tells you this is it, then a lot of people just go by it. Yeah. But anyway, it's good to do research. Google.
Definitely so.
Google.
Yeah. How about this idea that every African is living in poverty or in suffering somehow?
Every African? Well, a lot of Africans are poor. There's a lot of poverty in Africa. But you also get a lot of rich African countries and rich African people. Like, was it Rwanda?
Rwanda is,
yes.
You know.
It's a very
It's like the
wealthy.
Shanghai of Africa, they call
Yeah,
it.
yeah. There's
You know?
parts of Kenya. Kenya has like the biggest mall in Africa, which is state of the art. State of the art.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of poverty, but not all Africans are just poor. You know that picture of
No.
the small kid with the big stomach who walks with flies all over.
You see
Because
Jermaine Jackson on the TV.
yeah, a lot of them they want to talk about African. That's the picture that they show, which
Yeah.
is very unfortunate, but it is what it is.
And one that I always thought that all Africans, the religion that is just so mainstream and so popular is like voodoo. Like, there's just no diversity of religions in Africa.
So what are you saying? They thought, oh, we are, all of us just do voodoo, whatever.
Yeah, like they have ancestral.
All of us? Why is
Yeah,
this
they,
chair
they,
moving?
they speak to the ancestors, and I mean it does happen. I mean, you have.
No, we have a lot of religions. Again, super diverse. Christianity, Islam,
Yeah.
all of those
Yeah.
religions. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Not all of us are into
Yeah.
what voodoo stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Or how about with tribes? Like someone had asked you what tribe you were from.
Yeah. There's this misconception that when you're from, I guess, Africa, you're in a tribe, which obviously you get a lot of tribes in South Africa,
Yes.
but not all of us,
Or belong to a
are
tribe.
a part of a tribe,
Yeah.
like an official tribe.
Or how about the notion that all Africa is desert and it never gets cold here? It's always hot.
So you can debunk that yourself.
Oh yeah, I mean last year because the winter here is in June, July, August, those months. So last year I was looking at the mountains not so far from here in the Western Cape, and I just saw snow, and it was a cultural shock for me because everything that I've seen about Africa is just National Geographic, desert, Sahara, all of that, and then for me to see snowfall here, I was
Yeah.
like, wow, I thought this only took place in like the West and in Antarctica.
Yeah, it gets quite cold here, and we have the most beautiful beaches that you saw.
Yes.
Yeah, we have all four seasons in its full glory.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
You have to visit South Africa, or if you can't make it to South Africa, maybe visit another African country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the moral of the story is, just to do research. Go on Google, go see how diverse Africa is. Go see how diverse South Africa is. I guess what brings in the confusion is the name of our country, South Africa, because obviously you get North Africa, East Africa, South Africa, and North Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, West Africa.
Western Africa.
Yeah, and South Africa is just not south of Africa. It's an actual country,
Yes.
in southern Africa.
I mean,
and there's a lot of other southern
You have border countries of South Africa. They're all southern countries.
Yeah, so I guess that brings in the confusion.
confusion.
Like North America is not a country. North America is an actual continent.
Continent, yes.
Yeah, but it's not a country's name. Where South Africa is an actual country's name.
Yeah, and there's also they use the USA interchangeably with America, even though the U.S. is not the only America. But that's another topic and discussion.
For another video.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. Thank you for listening to our ramble up until this point. So as I said, do yourselves a favor. If you're interested in Africa, want to get to know more about Africa, go do your research, Google, see how diverse we are. Go check out, find out about all the other African countries. And so next time you can make some informed comments or whatever.
Or if you have any objections, as well.
I was just reminded about the other one because someone asked me, do you guys have McDonald's there? Like, do you guys actually eat
do you have
takeouts?
sidewalks?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's
see
just
for
funny.
yourself.
In the beginning, I got very offended, but nowadays I just laugh and I just realize it's just a lack of,
lack of education, lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's all good. Anyway, until next time, take care of yourself and each other. I'm
Yeah.
joking. You're
Okay.
supposed to laugh.
Okay.
People sense
Sherry
of humor.
Spring's been off the air for 3 years.
Ciao.
Adios.